Support for Sportspage is provided by First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. By the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower floor of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. By Parker's Supermarket and Pharmacy, a home-owned and operated store that listens to its customers. Whether it's a hypoallergenic formula or a new exotic vegetable, Parker strives to serve the unique needs of the area. The mission at Parker's is to make grocery shopping a welcoming experience. And promotional support for Sportspage is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Straight ahead on the Central Missouri Sports Page, Mules football coach Jim Svoboda stops by to talk about last week's win at Lindenwood and this Saturday's regular season finale at 6th-ranked Washburn. Mules basketball officially tips off their season this Saturday, and Coach Kim Anderson will be in studio to look back at the exhibition season and look ahead to the 2011-2012 Hoops campaign. In our Sports Page Student Athlete Spotlights, we'll get to know a Columbia native who handles one of the most important and overlooked duties on the Mules football team, and we'll preview the 19-1 Jennies'sSoccer team trip to the NCAA tournament. So stick around. Your weekly 1-hour look at UCM Mules and Jennies sports is coming up next. Hello again, everybody, and thanks for watching the University of Central Missouri Sports Page. I'm Shawn Jones, and joining me to kick off this week's show is Mules football coach Jim Svoboda. Coach Svoboda, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Well, good week for Mules football. You go to Lindenwood, an outstanding opponent. I know you have to be very happy with the way your team played all the way around in that one.
I thought we were really well prepared, and the players, were excited to play the game, and great environment. We had a great crowd there, and started off a little shaky for us, but then once we got going, it was an outstanding ball game.
Yeah, Lindenwood's coming into the MIAA. They count as a D2 team this year, a power in NAIA. They made no bones about it. They said this is the biggest game in school history. First play from scrimmage, they score a touchdown. They're up 14-3, and 30 points later, your team had it under control. I thought that spoke volumes about the character of this 2011 Mules football team.
Well, I was proud of the kids because, there was a lot of hype around it, and there was a good crowd there, and it's one of those games where you got an opponent that's just coming into Division II, and theoretically you should be able to do all right versus that team. But as you mentioned, they had a lot of tradition, 26-game home winning streak, and all those kinds of things. You get down 14-3, and could have easily panicked. And our guys held steady in there, and we felt like we were moving the ball on offense, and we were kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. And once we steadied the ship, then we really got going.
Third quarter, you outscored them 28-7. Must have been some terrific halftime adjustments.
Well, it was really more the players. I mean, there were some things that we felt, that we were doing well, that we were going to come back to, and there were some things that we hadn't gotten to yet that we were, wanted to implement, and so we put it all together, and it was an explosive third quarter.
A lot of great stories in this game. You've got a lot of St. Louis kids on the team, but Tommy Corwin from DeSmet, his family from that area, and he has 443 yards of total offense in the game.
I was real proud of Tommy because, again, that's one of those games where, you got a bunch of people there, and it's your hometown crowd, and hadn't really been in that environment, first year starting and all those kinds of things, and he had a terrific game and really led our team.
As I was doing the radio play-by-play, I was trying to mention every time a kid from St. Louis made a play, I'd mention his high school because it's the first time Mules football has ever had the chance to play in the Gateway City or in the metro area.
we got a lot of kids from St. Louis.
We do. It's a fertile ground in terms of high school football. We're going to continue to recruit there. It was interesting because so many of our players knew their players and other students, and so that was kind of a sidebar on the game that you hope wasn't a distraction, but it ended up adding an exciting element to it.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. Lou Brock, Cardinals Hall of Famer, and a benefactor to Lindenwood there to flip the coin, and so this football game's about to get underway, and then we're going to see one of the things Mules footballs remain consistent with. Lindenwood gets the kick, try a little razzle-dazzle, guys stay in their lanes and make a solid tackle.
Well, that's the way you want to start in terms of the kickoff team, but not so much on this play.
Here we go, not so much here. Donatus O'Brien, a terrific player, 84 yards, and the roof's about to come off of Harlan Hunter Stadium in St. Charles. They're, again, a team 2 years ago in the NAIA National Championship game, 84 yards, touchdown. They're rightfully fired up. Again, though, your guys didn't seem to let it phase them. They settled into the game, continued to make plays.
They really did, and that kid is fast. He got loose again later in the game.
This kid's pretty good, too, here. Cameron Tornado, great return, gets you right to midfield.
Good field position, good way to start off our possession.
There you see Tommy over the middle, a great catch by Cannon as he held on to it, took a big pop there. And here we see the Mules driving down the field, and Corwin throwing it out there to a St. Louis kid, Anthony Kirkwood, making a nice catch.
Yeah, it was a well-executed play, good catch, good pass.
Again, Tommy, 443 yards of total offense. Look at him by the time, throw it to the back of the end zone. Looks like Taylor Dyer has the touchdown. The officials say he went out of bounds and came back in, so they rule that off. Zach Gebhardt's your backup kicker with Aaron Jamison, the preseason All-American, out with injury, comes in and hits field goal for you.
Did a great job all game.
And here we see quickly back the other way comes Lindenwood. They got a 44-yard pass play. That set them up there in short field, score the touchdown, and they're up 14-3 at this point. So now all of a sudden they are feeling really good. But there you see the strength of David Cannon continuing this drive. Corwin on an out route, another one here to Cannon, another St. Louis kid, Hazelwood East, and there he's grinding for some extra yardage.
Yeah, David had an outstanding game as well.
Unfortunately, a fumble here as you're about to punch it in. Lindenwood gets it back. They have all the momentum at this point, but your defense comes up with the stop. Mules get the football back. Here's Tommy adding to those total yards, tucking the football and running.
He did a really good job of, when it wasn't there in the pass play, of getting yards with his feet.
There's a fourth down conversion, one of two of those in the game.
Yeah, good third down and fourth down production.
Nice rocket screen here as you see Cannon go from the outside in, had a nice lane, takes it to the end zone, and the Mules, after an extra point's no good, it's 14-9 late in the first quarter. So the Mules continuing to come back in this football game, and there you see a nice catch by Jamar Howard, 1 of 10 on the day. They just didn't have an answer for his size, speed, or athleticism.
Yeah, he had a nice game, and we had some specific plays for him, and he made some big catches for us.
There's the freshman from Raytown, Levance Taylor, his first of 3 touchdowns on the day. You have a lead at this point, you'll never relinquish.
Yeah, we just hung in there. They hadn't really stopped us on offense, and then the defense was really starting to make some big plays, as you see right there.
David Bax from Jeff City, Helias, 7 sacks for the defense on the day. That's by far the best on the season. Boy, there's a great catch by Kirkwood. This is late in the first half, 2 seconds left. Zach Gebhardt, again, your backup kicker, but very capable. This is a 34-yard field goal.
Dead into the wind right there. It's a pretty significant win. That was a great drive right before half. That was a big score.
16-0 run to close out the half. That's big.
That's the way to do it.
Yep, and it continues as we go to third quarter action. There's Jamar Howard ahead of the pack. Look at him hang on to the football. That's what I like to see, and I know the head coach likes to see that too.
That was one of those deep plays we talked about, and got him loose on a post pattern there, made a great catch.
There you see Clayton Cooper, young freshman wide receiver, making a great catch. Now the Mules picking their way forward. It's Levance Taylor again, who it's fun to watch him get better and better. Offensive line played well. They helped plow Tommy into the end zone. 1-yard run, 4-play, 60-yard drive, 26-14 Central Missouri at this point, and then you get a nice special teams play.
Special teams were stellar all day long, and there's number 5, their speedy kid, and we aggressively hit him on the return and got the ball back.
So you get the ball back, you're on the drive, going for the knockout punch pass, just a little bit underthrown, and Lindenwood has a little bit of life at this point, obviously with the ball game still within somewhat in the balance, and then they get the football, start to march it down, but again, your defense, just a solid group throughout this entire game. We see it there.
Yeah, we really played, after the first few minutes of the game, played great team football all the way around.
Nice play action fake here, throw it up top to the big guy, perfect pass and catch. Jamar Howard, all of a sudden the Mules in business again inside the 10-yard line. Boy, a lot of Mules fans there, big crowd. It wasn't hard to get pumped up for this game, was it?
It wasn't. I was pumped up. Frankly, didn't expect to see that much red in the stands, but it was great.
We've got a lot of alums from the St. Louis area, and they came out and they loved this play. Boy, great play call. A little counter there off the option, and Levance Taylor fired up, should be. At that point, the Mules go on top 33-14. And that was a nice play call. First time we'd seen that little counter off the option.
Yeah, anytime you get it in his hands, he's going to make a play over Levance.
And there goes David Cannon, puts up the, hey, #1, and they flag that. They call that unsportsmanlike. That's widely debated right now in the world of college sports, but nonetheless, it wipes it off the board. Cannon's best friend, though, Levance Taylor, 18 yards out very next play, and the Mules are on top at this point now. After that, 40-21.
Well, it was a talked-about rule, and that's just one of those where everybody kind of knows it right now, and that was unfortunate because that was a great play by David.
And again, here we'll see a nice special teams play. Good catch on the run by Marlon Douglas. Sets you up with the short field. And now watch this. Again, special teams. Matt Jordan, the low rugby-style punt. Watch Patrick Lewis get down this field. Thank you for getting out of the way. And right there inside the 1.
Huge play. That was a nail in the coffin right there because we get a touchdown right here.
Here's the defense stripped away, and Colin Hanna from Maryland Heights, the St. Louis area, picks it up. Colin had a heck of a day for you defensively.
He really did. He's progressively gotten better as the season's gone along. He was our warrior of the week.
I want to talk about Bax and Smith, too. I thought the DNs were outstanding.
Yeah, 7 sacks. The D-line's got something going on there, that's for sure, led by David Bax.
And there you see the final numbers as Central Missouri wins the first ever matchup between the Mules and Lindenwood, 47-28. Mules go to 7-3. Lindenwood drops to 7-3. This is a Lindenwood team that went to Kingsville, Texas A&M Kingsville, and won at Northern Colorado Division I school. Tommy Corwin had a day, 443 yards total offense, 4th most in a game in school history. The freshman Levance Taylor, 3 TDs. Colin Hanna, 7 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. 7 sacks for the defense. With the win, the Mules are 7-3. They're 5-3 in the league, and they're ranked 10th this week in the South Central Region rankings. And a big challenge coming up this week, no doubt, going to Washburn to take on the 6th-ranked Ichabods, a senior-laden team, ultra-talented. But your team, because of the way they played at Lindenwood, they're going to take a lot of confidence into this one.
Oh, we'll be confident. And, we've had an outstanding week of practice, and our players are excited about this game. There's still a lot of things for us to play for. As I mentioned to our kids, we're really building the tradition here at Central, and we got an opportunity to make some history. There hasn't been that many postseason victories in the history of school. We got an opportunity to do that. We got an opportunity to win 8 or 9 games. Those 2 things haven't happened that many times in the history of the school. So lots of good things to shoot for.
As we look at the MIAA standings, you got Washburn and Pitt State right now atop the league. They're tied there. Each of them will be playing for a share of the conference title. But more importantly, if you look at the top 5 in the MIAA, all 5 are ranked in the top 10 this week in Super Regional 4, which is the MIAA, the Lone Star Conference, the Great Northwest Conference, the Great America Conference, and some independents scattered in there. That says really all you need to know about this league.
Yeah, it really does. To be anywhere in that top 10, that's a lot of football teams, a lot of quality football teams, obviously tremendous conferences there. So, it's an honor for us. Would we like to be a little better than 7-3 right now and be in position for the playoffs? Of course we would, but we've improved as a team. We've stuck together, and you got to give the other teams in the league credit when it's an outstanding year in the conference.
We've had a great tradition here of winning, really, established a few years back and continued. And obviously last year, greatest season in school history with the 11 wins and going to the national quarterfinals. But if this team makes the postseason this year, it's just the 7th time in 116 years of Mules football. So, let's just be honest. We don't need to be snobbish about postseason. We haven't done it enough over the course of 116 years to be snobbish about it. We'll take any postseason opportunity we can get. It's good for the program.
It is good for the program, and there's only been 4 post-game victories in the history of the school, and we got an opportunity to join that elite group in terms of the history of Mule football and add to it.
And let's talk about this game this week. Credit to Washburn. They're playing for a share of the MIAA title. It's their senior day. They're ranked 6th in the country. This would be a signature win for the 2011 Mules.
Well, if you look at everything, there wouldn't be anybody that would say that we're going to win this football game, but I know our players will be prepared. They're excited about it. within the confines of our offices and locker room and so forth, we'll put forth our best effort. I know that.
And no surprise when you look at Washburn and why they're good. I mean, it starts at quarterback. Dean Semino is a senior guy who's played really a long time there and is an outstanding player. It's no secret in this league when you have that elite quarterback like they do, you can be pretty darn good. And they've got a great cast surrounding him too.
They really, I mean, they're a solid football team all the way around. They're having a better year defensively than they had a year ago, which was, they got into a couple of shootouts last year, and so, it's just, they were an outstanding team last year. It was just a few plays here or there, as often happens, and they do have an outstanding quarterback. His numbers are very similar to Tommy Corwin's numbers, so it should be a great matchup from that standpoint.
You mentioned that the energy in practice has been good this week. Obviously, coming off a good week, it's nice. I think the guys know that this is a great opportunity for them, too, to close out the regular season.
It is, and it really comes down to your own standard of excellence, and you have one more opportunity. If you have a passion for the game, then you're going to try to go out with a bang and have a great performance.
Well, hopefully next week when we have you on the show, we'll talk about a bowl game, where we're going, give some fans some information on that. I've had a chance to review the bowl games. I mean, just so folks know, the Kansas Bowl is on Sunday, November 27th in Topeka at Hummer Sports Park, and the Mineral Water Bowl is Saturday, December 3rd at Excelsior Springs High School, both noon kicks. Both of these organizations that put these on do a first-class job, from where the kids stay to the events surrounding the game, the banquet, all those sorts of things. As I've told some of our fans, not a whole lot different going to a bowl in Topeka or Excelsior Springs than it is in Boise, Idaho, or Shreveport, Louisiana. It's really, I think the kids, if they knew what I know, they'd realize what a special deal it's going to be for them to get that chance.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about those two bowls, and we're excited to be in position to possibly play in one of those, but right now we're going to focus on the Ichabods. Sure. And ending our regular season with a bang. We're
going to spotlight Drew Wier here in just a minute, and I mentioned at the outset the young man from Columbia Hickman. He's one of those guys that goes unnoticed. He goes unnoticed because he doesn't make any mistakes.
Right.
He's got a tough job there at long snapper.
He does, and for 2 years he's been stellar. And we got him in playing some tight end this year. I wish we had him a couple more years, because I think he really could be one of the better tight ends in the conference too. He's a very good athlete.
Well, he's just a very good athlete. He's also one of the top amateur golfers in mid-Missouri.
He has. I got to see that firsthand at our golf tournament when him and his dad took about every prize we had at the tournament.
Well, Coach, good to visit with you, and we'll talk to you again
Shawn.
next week.
Sounds good.
Coming up next on Sportspage, we'll get to know Mules deep snapper and tight end Drew Wier. That's next here on KMOS-TV.
Voces to me means pride in my community, pride in myself, sense of self-esteem, self-worth, passion for our people, Latino contributions to American culture, all rolled into one, where Latino voices from all corners of America can be heard. I'm Edward James Olmos, and Voces is my source for Latino stories on PBS.
I choose to finish what I start.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose red to make my family proud.
I choose red because I can take classes that work around my schedule.
I choose red to advance my career.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree, advance your career, and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
Load up your golf clubs, grab your spikes, and head out to the first tee. As our way of saying thank you for your financial contribution at the $50 level or higher, KMOS will send you a member card. In addition to great discounts at restaurants, attractions, and bed and breakfast all across Missouri, the member card also offers 2-for-1 greens fees at several Missouri golf courses. Improve your swing while taking in beautiful lake vistas. Or experience the Rumble at America's only golf course above an active mine. Take your game to the next level by playing around on us. Call 1-800-753-3436 and support KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Thank you.
And welcome back to Sportspage here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. In this segment, we shine the UCM Sportspage Student Athlete Spotlight on Mules senior tight end and deep snapper Drew Wier.
I've been playing football since my first season was when I was in about 3rd grade, and then I picked it back up when I was in about 9th grade. Played high school football in Columbia Hickman, and then came here and been playing here since spring 2008. My recruiting process is Greg Nesbitt, he was the defensive coordinator at the time here at Central in 2008, and he was my head coach in high school, and so my dad and I got a hold of him. Decided, because I was playing golf at the time, that I'd like to get back into football, and Coach Nesbitt said there would be a spot for you to walk on, and I came, and that's pretty much it. Oh, my relationship with the other teammates is good. I mean, it's cool because you pretty much have 100 and, I don't even know how many people we have on our team, maybe 120, 130 brothers. I mean, the bond we have with each other is really close because we, since you got spring ball, and you're doing that for 20 hours a week in the spring, and you got the summertime where we work out really hard together, and we come together as a team there, and then you got camp, and you're together pretty much 24/7. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's something I'm going to miss whenever I'm not going to play here anymore. So I really don't have any pregame rituals. I'm not really big into superstitions and all that stuff. I try to just keep it simple, try to relax, and just let the game come to me. Yeah, I play golf. I love golf. Been playing it since I was like 5 years old. My dad taught it to me. My brother, he used to take me out to the golf course all the time with him and let me tag along with him, which was really cool. We had a pretty good team in high school, and then I decided to go on to college to play at community college in Kansas City, and yeah, I still continue to play golf to this day. For the two positions that I play long snapper and I play tight end. Long snapper is it's a really special, different, specific position you have to do. As far as training, maybe a few extra snaps during the summertime, but we do a pretty good job of practicing that during the year and throughout camp and everything like that. So I'm usually good to go on that aspect. And for tight end, I just try to get as big, as strong, and fast as I can. Try to compete out there on the football field. I am a graduate student in history. I found that this is my first semester in graduate classes, and they're much different. It's a lot more reading. It's a lot more out of class stuff, and it makes it tough, but it's all worth it in the end because playing football here it's a great experience, and Central's a great school to get your education from. So it's something I got to do. The rest of the season we got a tough road game at Washburn. I think they're ranked in the top 5. They're I think 9-1. They're a really good team. If we play our best game and we come together as a team, I think we have a chance against any team in the nation. I'd love to get a win there and ruin their senior day, kind of like ours got ruined by Pitt. But that's just shows you the quality of the conference, and that all the teams in the conference can really bring it, and the MIAA is the best conference in the nation. The season so far, there's been ups and downs. We're a very young team, and it's when you go on the road, especially in this conference, it's an experience that all members of the team need to come together and get the win. But we weren't able to do that early in the season, and then we played a really good game against Northwest. But they're a great football team. They showed that in the 4th quarter, and we lost that game too. And Pitt State's one of the best teams in the nation. So we've played. I thought we've come together as a team really well. As young as we are, I mean, we only have 13 seniors, and most of our starters are redshirt freshmen, sophomores, or juniors. So you know, for the season going this far, it's been a great experience, and hopefully we can finish it off right and get a win in Topeka.
Well, the Columbia Hickman product is certainly a well-balanced person. He's already earned his bachelor's degree in political science and is now working on his master's in history. And in addition to being a grad student and an outstanding deep snapper and tight end, he's also one of the top amateur golfers in mid-Missouri. Coming up next on Sports Page, we'll take a look at how all the Mules and Jennies fall sports teams performed this past week, and we'll look ahead to basketball season as we talk Mules hoops with head coach Kim Anderson. All of that's on the way when Sports Page continues right after this.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose to follow through, to finish my degree.
I choose a university that's convenient and close to home.
I choose Red to transfer my credit hours without any hassles.
I choose Red to graduate on time.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
We're getting them ready.
I'm ready to read.
Ready to try.
I'm ready. Estoy listo.
Ready for life.
I'm ready to speak.
It's what we do every day.
I'm ready to dream.
With the books we provide, the workshops we sponsor. At KMOS-TV 6, we're committed to making sure every child in Central Missouri is
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn.
I just like the surprise when I turn on the TV and there's an interesting program about history or about gardening or about quilting. So that's really a wonderful source for me, and that's why I like KMOS. It's my source.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia.
Thanks for watching Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Coming up in just a moment, we'll talk Mules hoops with head coach Kim Anderson. But first, let's look back at how all the Mules and Jennies teams in action performed this past week. And we start with the Jennies volleyball team. They're ranked 7th in the country, and they picked up 3 big MIAA and regional wins since our last show. Friday night, the Gens got 19 kills from sophomore Taylor Goodness as they defeated Missouri Western 3-1 in St. Joe. On Saturday, the Gens returned to Peggy Martin Court and defeated Northwest Missouri 3-0 as Allie Huffman set a new all-time attacks record at UCM. Paula Harris and Julia Bates were named the MIAA Players of the Week. Tuesday night, the Gens picked up a big 3-0 win at Emporia State. Huffman and Harris each had 14 kills in the win. The Gens are 25-4 overall, 15-1 in the MIAA, just 1 game back of Washburn. The UCM cross-country teams took part in the NCAA South Central Regional last Saturday down in Wichita Falls, Texas. The Mules finished in 3rd place with Laban Cialo winning the individual title and Dalton Moberly placing 5th. They both qualify for nationals. The Jennies finish in 16th place. Mules basketball officially tips off their season Saturday as they host Westminster at 7 o'clock at the Multi. Joining us now to preview the upcoming season is head coach Kim Anderson. Coach A, welcome back.
Jonesy, good to be here.
We officially begin your 10th year on Saturday night, and I think you're about 25 practices in. How do you feel heading into this one?
Well, pretty good. I think the 2 exhibition games really served us well and gave us an opportunity to play a lot of guys and to try some different combinations. I still think we've got a lot of experimenting to do, but I thought both of the games gave us some good work, maybe showed us what we needed to work on, and that's really why you play the games.
Fair to surmise after 25 practices and 2 exhibition games, this is a more athletic, deeper, more offensive team than a year ago?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we scored a lot of points in both games. I don't know if that was because we were good offensively or the other guys were not as good defensively, but I do think we have to get better offensively in controlling the basketball so that we don't have to play defense so long. And not that we can't be a good defensive team, because I think we can be, but I think that's kind of a work in progress. And you know, you look down this roster and there's 12 guys that can play, and the competition's incredible, and it continues every day in practice, and guys move up, guys move down. So you know, you got to wear your helmet every day if you're going to play.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of exhibition season. The two-game Division I slate for Mules basketball started last Thursday. You went down to Clarksville, Tennessee, took on the Austin Peay Governors. Govs picked to win the OVC. They're coached by Dave Luce, the dad, of course, of your associate head coach, Brad Luce. This has really turned out to be a great game for both parties. And obviously you saw some good things in this game. You saw some things you wanted to get better at.
Yeah, the game's been great. You know, it's great that Coach Luce allows us to come down there and play. And, you know, his team's really good. This might be his best team. This is the 5th time we played him, and I think this might be his best team since we've been going down there. But the teams are similar. We do a lot of the same things. So from that standpoint, a lot of times it was kind of like working against ourselves. But the game started off, and we just we did a great job. They pressured us. We broke their pressure. We shot. We made. We're feeling good at halftime. We're up 8, and then in the second half, you know, Coach Luce hadn't been coaching for 20-some years for nothing. He backed it off, turned it into kind of a half-court game, and we just kept shooting, which means we were playing offense for about 10 seconds, and then we're going down playing defense for about 25. And so ultimately they caught us. And you know, I think the thing we learned out of it is we've got to do a better job on our interior defense. But the other thing is you know, you got to be able to play offense for longer than 5 or 10 seconds, or else you're going to be defending the whole night. And you know, it's kind of, I know Boda was just on here. It's kind of like the football deal. You know, if your defense is on the floor, on the field, the whole game, they're going to get scored upon, and it's the same thing with us. So I think it was really good. I think we learned some things. And then we carried that over to the next game.
One thing I think we learned is Dominique Long's come a long way from last year redshirting, set out after transferring from Drury. He's a Waynesville product. He's a junior. He scores 20 points, has 5 boards down there. I know he's really impressed you so far in fall.
Very impressed. Did not plan on this at all. You know, Damo actually had ankle surgery last fall about this, or a little bit earlier than this, and he came back in February and was able to practice with us for a couple of weeks before the end of the season. And I really challenged him at the end of the year to become a better player, and he certainly responded. So I've been very pleased with him from an offensive standpoint, and he knows there's a lot of things he's got to work on too, but certainly a pleasant surprise, and a guy that I think really fits into that 4-man spot because of his size, his shooting ability, and his strength.
Well, after the trip to Austin Peay, it was on to Old Mizzou, where, of course, Coach A was an All-Century team member and a Hall of Famer. The Mules taking on the 25th-ranked Missouri Tigers on Monday night on Norm Stewart Court at Mizzou Arena. What a great opportunity for your guys.
Well, tremendous, you know, to be able to play in that venue. And you know, a lot of our guys are from the state of Missouri, and they grow up and they want to play at Mizzou, or at least play against Mizzou, and they get that opportunity. So this was certainly, and a game, again, I think that really helped us.
Good start. Mules lead 3-0.
Mules got up 6-0, and you know, I was hoping maybe that could be the game, but we got off to a good start. Didn't play scared, and knocked down a couple shots early.
And there you see the Mules moving the basketball, and you mentioned, you know, got off to a good start in the game. You know, there were definitely some points in the game where Missouri, you know, well-coached team, good athleticism, talented. There you see Damo knocking down a shot. There were just stretches where they were able to really take advantage of that and create some separation.
Well, they made it very difficult for us to do what we wanted to. I remember telling them after the game, there's a nice shot there by Damo and a good pass, that, you know, they made us uncomfortable in the first half, and you know, there's a little trap and stuff there, and Matt Webb with a little jumper. Really, I thought he really played well. I challenged him after the Austin Peay game because I really didn't think he played as hard and as aggressively as he needed to.
There's a good pass. Uvario Smith, one dribble, steps back, knocks down the open shot.
Yeah, good patience and got a little penetration, a little kick out, and that's a good shot for Uvario. Nice. That's one he works on all the time.
Widget Washington quickly up before. Great rebound again. Matt Webb from out of State Fair, from Kansas City, played at State Fair in Sedalia. Great move there. He had a great game, 18 points.
Yeah, you know, Matt and Widge and Dom Newton, those guys, they play against some of these guys in the summer. You know, Mike Dixon and Denman and those guys. So it was kind of fun for them to come down and play.
Here you see Reggie Stallings knocking down a shot. Reggie, all-defensive team member, of course, a year ago. Halftime here, you're down 18. I know you challenged your guys to win the second half.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Well, I'm not very smart, but I said, you know what, we can't win the game if we don't win the second half. So that was kind of our goal, was to come out, and I knew it'd be hard to come back and make up 18 points, but there's a nice play there, good patience again, coming off a ball screen and hitting Lance Beck with for an easy three-point shot.
Well, Missouri forced some turnovers on you in the first half, not many at all in the second.
No, better job. I think we only turned it over maybe 4 times in the second half, and I think part of that was our depth. Really, there's a nice play by Widget. Our depth, I think, was a key, and I'm not saying we wore them down. I'm just saying we were able to play a lot of different people, and there's a good drive by Boo. Gets a three-point play.
Boo had a good second half for you, 11 points.
Yeah, he did. He's still, I think, trying to find his balance between taking the ball to the hole and jump shooting, and you know, again, our leading scorer from a year ago is coming off the bench right now, which is, I hope, says a lot for the amount of depth that we have.
There's Widget Washington out front with the basketball. I thought he took some huge strides for you in the second half.
He did, and the great thing I think he's learning is that you know, he scored 27 points a game in junior college, and he's not going to score that many, but he's very, very good with the basketball. He sees the floor extremely well. There's a great pass there from Widget down to Matt, and that's what we need him to do, and we also need him to score, but you know, we've got guys that can score. So Dom Newton with a nice step-back jump shot off an out-of-bounds play.
And the Mules, again, solid performance here in Columbia. Get a shot on the video board, and again, you know, you saw some things from a lot of different guys that you can be pleased with. And that's not always the case, especially against quality competition like this.
Right, and again, you know, we have 12 guys that are capable of playing, and good step back there. I hope he can make that one all the time, because that one's hard to guard.
He hit 2 of those off the glass.
Yeah, good runner, good follow by Boo. Again, I thought we attacked and played hard in the second half. I think we did in the first half too, but I thought in the second half we had a little bit more purpose, and there was a little more sense of urgency. You know, we didn't want to go in there and go from 18 and lose by 36. You know, we wanted to establish what we wanted to do, and we were able to play even with them in the second half. Very good, Missouri, very good basketball team. The guards are excellent, and then Ratliff on the inside was a load for us to handle.
But 88-70, I thought it was one of those games where, from our standpoint as a Division II school, quality Division II program, the guys open the newspaper the next day, they go, Central Missouri, that's not bad.
Well, especially what Missouri had been doing with the other teams they had played, and we had we had hoped that we could again play a game. You know, we substituted a lot midway through the first half. Toward the end of the first half, we had some kind of screwy combinations in there, some things we were trying to do, and they made a run on us, and it wasn't necessarily because of those guys, it was just because of the combinations that we had in. So I was pleased, I really was. We need to build on it now as we go into the regular season.
Yeah, that was on Monday night. The regular season opener is Saturday night, 7 o'clock at the Multi against the Blue Jays from Westminster College out of Fulton. Biggest things you're working on from that exhibition game to Saturday when it tips off for real?
Well, we're defensively, we're trying to get better. We're trying to be a little bit more accountable for who we're guarding. And then our weak side defense, you know, we practice this stuff all the time, and then we get in a game and we don't carry it out. Offensively, I want our guys to play fast, but I want them to play smart. And you know, the thing we talked about a lot in practice the last couple of days is being disciplined, you know, but also being able to execute, or execution with discipline. Know when you've got the easy basket, know when you got to pull it back and run something, and understand that when the game gets going up and down against a good basketball team, sometimes you better be able to pull that baby back and hang on to it a little bit, or else you're going to be back there on the other end bending your knees all night playing defense against good players.
Well, this is going to be a very different team. Obviously, you're not playing Austin Peay or Missouri, but you're playing a team in Westminster that's well coached by Matt Mitchell, a guy I know you have a lot of respect for, and a team that is going to make you work. I mean, this is a very different type of team than what you've seen in the way they play, too. They're going to make you guard, and if they're hitting jump shots, they can make things interesting.
Well, and the thing, the difference will be is that they will probably not put as much pressure on us because they won't be as athletic as a Missouri or an Austin Peay. They're going to ball up back there in the lane and probably going to encourage you to make jump shots or to shoot jump shots, and that's that'll be a little different look for us. And so you got to be able to execute. You got to be able to get the ball from side to side. On the other end of the floor, we got to be able to put a little heat on them too. Hopefully, we can force them to turn the ball over some, which we didn't do that a whole lot in these first two games, and that's something I wish we could do. I'd like for us to be able to do a better job of.
And of course, that's Saturday night, Mules and Blue Jays, and then fast forward ahead to Tuesday, St. Mary's of Kansas comes in, and that'll be a 7 o'clock tip at the Multi on Tuesday. The games just start coming fast and furious now. Yeah,
we got and that's good. Kind of in a. I think we play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and then we get in after that Thanksgiving week. We play Rockhurst and Quincy. So we've got now it's kind of a little bit of a routine, and I think our guys are ready to play. I know they're tired of practicing. I think they're ready to get out and play some competition. And again, the two exhibition games were good, very good competition, and we just hope we can build on that and continue to improve from game 2 to game 3 now and keep that going.
I harken back to the old days when you kind of eased into the season. You didn't play a lot of Division II teams early. Well, that's no longer the case with all the MIAA games you play. I mean, you look ahead, November 22nd, Rockhurst is coming in here. November 30th, we tip off the conference season with SBU. Great rivalry game that'll be here in Warrensburg. You mentioned November 26th. You're going to go on the road to Quincy, play a good D2 team on the road. So no easing into the season anymore.
No, we're going to, of course we'll have these 4 home games, and then we're taking our show on the road to Quincy, who beat Drake by 10 just I don't know, a week or so ago. So and then we jump right into our conference. 3 weeks from yesterday we'll be playing SBU at home. So it's here, and now we got to get better every game because you don't have as much practice time. And this team's been a little bit slower in us putting things in. We've had to kind of back off a little bit. There's a lot of things that I'd still like to do that we haven't been able to do yet, just because we're trying to learn a little bit at a time, and offensively and defensively. So as I told them the other day, we got to keep going. We've been kind of stagnated for the last 2 or 3 weeks trying to get this stuff down. Now we got to keep moving.
Well, the good news is, unfortunately, for some of the folks in your profession, they're already knowing, we're missing this, we're missing that. This team's going to be fun to watch. You got a lot of talent. You got a lot of guys that can play at every position. I think you've got a chance for a really fun season.
Well, and we're trying to figure out combinations. I really want to try to play. We've played the 3 big guys, and we've played them all one at a time. I really want to play 2 of them together. That's always difficult early in the season because you play a lot of teams that have 4 guards and a big guy, and so it's hard to have Will Kirksey out there guarding a 6'2" guard. Now it's hard for that 6'2" guard to guard Will Kirksey too, but so there's a lot of experimentation that we still want to do, and hopefully we'll be able to do that here over the next couple of weeks.
Thanks for the chat. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, thanks, Jonesy.
Just a moment on Sportspage. We'll visit with Jennies soccer coach Louis Theobald and members of the MIAA champion Jennies soccer team as they preview the upcoming NCAA Division II National Tournament. That's next, right here on KMOS-TV.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose to follow through to finish my degree.
I choose a university that's convenient and close to home.
I choose Red to transfer my credit hours without any hassles.
I choose Red to graduate on time.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
Create. It inspires me. I love cooking with Ming.
Oh, no. Jacques Pepin is the man.
I knew how to fix a furnace, but now I know the hot spots of Rio.
I've turned shacks into castles, and now I can fill them with antiques.
And I caught you watching that quilting show.
And I'm getting pretty good.
Hi, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
And I'm Tom Silva.
And
we love to watch Create. It inspires us.
To create with you.
KMOS-TV is my source for entertainment. I thoroughly enjoy all of the musical entertainment that KMOS provides for Central Missouri.
Stay tuned to KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
It's gone great. I think 19-1 is a special year. Excited to get a chance to keep playing in postseason, but overall, what a great year to be MIAA champs and tournament champs is just a great accomplishment for our kids. I'm just really excited, and they're a great group of kids to work with, so I've been really happy with them. We're in a good spot. We're still trying to figure some things out because of some injuries, but I feel like we're as ready as we could be, and we've really progressed well and got better each week. So I feel good about that. But for us to progress, we still have to play better than we have, and we know each game's going to be pretty tight. So a lot of it's going to have to do with some leadership and some big-time players stepping up and playing really well.
I feel very confident going in there. I know that Dallas Baptist gave us a very good game the first time, and I know that this time they're going to be going just as hard as we are, but I know that we have a little vengeance that I know that the entire team feels, so I'm excited and very nervous at the same time. Throughout the semester, I feel like our team has come together. We're strong, we're confident, and we all have the same goal in mind. I know that we all work so hard during practice, on and off the field, and I mean, we're so excited to go into the tournament and do well.
There's a couple of things we're going to look at. One is just refining what we do in terms of our style of play. It's something you just can't get away from. You have to keep hitting it. And then we're going to spend some time this week looking at attacking play, going from the middle third to the final third to make sure we're creating quality opportunities. That's such a hard thing to do against good teams that I think we really need to focus in on that, knowing that we're not going to get as many chances against Dallas Baptist as we would against some other teams. So trying to maximize those opportunities. I feel pretty good defensively. I think we're organized and can limit them, but it's going to be tough to break them down and create chances, so we're going to look at that. I think the thing that's different this year for us over other NCAA tournaments is we have experience of being there, and I think that we know how to win in this tournament now, and instead of just being happy to get there, we have expectations now that we're in it again. So the expectations are higher, and our kids are just excited to play, but they also want to win. And in the past, I think there's a little bit of just happy to be there and see how we do, and now there's real excitement and expectation to win. I think our region's loaded. I think the region is very deep and with a lot of talent, and going down south with the teams that are down south, they're very good. So we sit in some really big city areas with good soccer, so the talent at that Division II level in the South Central region is very, very good. So Dallas Baptist, there's only 2 Division II schools in the Dallas area, so they get a lot of talent there, and then Abilene and Midwestern get a lot of talent as well. So there's just no easy game, and everybody who's there deserves to be there. There was no upsets in the conference tournament, so nobody's there with a poor record. The best teams are in, and that makes it very challenging.
My thoughts on the tournament are that I'm very happy with the draw that we have. I mean, I know that we all want to be the 1 or the 2 seed, but being the 3 seed, being the underdog, I think that's a good advantage because that just pumps us up more, and I'm very excited. I know the rest of the team, we're all pumped up, ready to go.
Yeah, well, Dallas Baptist is the team that beat us this year. That's the one loss we have on our record. So, and they did it at our place. So they're obviously very good. Scored a great free kick on us, and they have some really good athletes. They're a very athletic, big, strong team, and very well coached and organized defensively. We outshot them in the game, but didn't create the quality opportunities that we needed to create, and that's something that we worked on most of the year. So our focus really be about attacking play. I think we need to get after them and put them on the back foot, and we have to dictate how the game's played. If we let them dictate it, then it'll be a long day for us. So we're going to have to be ready for them, and they'll be excited. They haven't been in the tournament for a long time, so I know it's a young, talented team that'll be excited to play us, and we're not going to change too much of what we do. It's been pretty successful, and it's a sound philosophy, but they'll put us to the test for sure. What's impressed me the most about our team is they're just a great group of kids to work with, and they've really bought into the way we want to do it. They've worked really hard. I haven't had to coach effort most of the year, and so there's a real desire about the group. And on the field, what's impressed me the most lately is that we've been able to score goals. And in soccer, scoring goals is very difficult to do, and it's such a big moment that we've been able to give ourselves a room of error because we've been able to score goals. So, but overall, the most impressive thing for me is from freshmen through seniors, they get along so well. They're a great group. They're fun to be around, and they work really hard.
The 4th-ranked and 3rd-seeded Jennies soccer team will open play in the South Central Regional on Friday at 2 o'clock down in Edmond, Oklahoma, taking on 6th-seeded Dallas Baptist, the only team to beat the 18-1 Jennies this year. The winner will play host and number 2 seed Central Oklahoma on Sunday at 2 for the right to advance to next week's regional final. Best of luck to MIAA Coach of the Year Louis Theobald and his Jennies in the NCAA Division II National Tournament. In just a moment, we'll tell you where all the Mules and Jennies are competing this weekend as Sportspage rolls on after this break.
I choose to finish what I start.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose red to make my family proud.
I choose red because I can take classes that work around my schedule.
I choose red to advance my career.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree, advance your career, and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
The big thing with the KMOS Ready to Learn program isn't just, come watch our shows, but then they want you to turn it off and read a book. My source for quality children's education is KMOS-TV.
KMOS-TV is a nonprofit organization owned and operated by the University of Central Missouri. The station relies upon many people, businesses, and organizations in order to provide programming services to thousands of people throughout Central Missouri. We can't do it alone. We need people to contribute as members, as corporate partners, and through major gifts and bequests, which can be arranged through a will. Public broadcasting faces many challenges in the years ahead as it competes in an increasingly cluttered media marketplace. But public television strives to be different. If this difference has been important to you, then I hope you'll consider a significant contribution to KMOS-TV through a major gift or bequest to keep KMOS-TV and the entire public broadcasting system going strong. You can call KMOS-TV to get more information on how you can make a contribution that will change lives for the better for decades to come.
For one final time this week, welcome back to Sportspage. Before we put the finishing touches on this week's show, let's run down our upcoming schedule of events so you know where to follow the Mules and Jennies. And we start with the Mules football team. They are on the road to close out the regular season Saturday, traveling to Topeka to take on the 6th-ranked Washburn Ichabods. Kickoff set for 1 o'clock. Our broadcast coverage begins at 11:40 a.m. on KOCO 98.5 The Bar and via the internet at warrensburgradio.com. We'll join you at kickoff on 90.9 The Bridge. In other MIAA games this week, 9th-ranked Pittsburgh State will host Missouri Southern in the MIAA TV Game of the Week. Washburn and Pitt State come into the final week tied atop the MIAA standings. Emporia State's at 11th-ranked Northwest Missouri. Truman's at SBU, 17th-ranked Missouri Western is at Fort Hays State, and Lincoln is at Urbana of Ohio. The 7th-ranked Jennies volleyball team will face 4th-ranked Washburn Friday night at 7 at the Multi on senior night for Jennies volleyball. The Gens are one game behind the Lady Blues in the race for an MIAA title. Washburn's ranked first in the region, the Jennies ranked number 2. It's Blackout Friday with all fans encouraged to wear black. We'll give out pom-poms while supplies last. The match will be broadcast on 1450 AM and warrensburgradio.com. On Saturday, the Gens will close out the regular season hosting Fort Hays State at 2. Then the NCAA will announce the Division II National Tournament selections on Sunday night at ncaa.com about 9 p.m. The 4th-ranked and 3rd-seeded Jennies'sSoccer squad will open play in the South Central Regional Friday at 2 down in Edmond, Oklahoma, as they battle 6th-seeded Dallas Baptist. The winner will play host to number 2 seed Central Oklahoma Sunday at 2 for the right to advance to next week's regional final. We wish Coach Theobald and his Jennies the best of luck in the national tournament. The Mules wrestling team opens their season on Sunday. They host the UCM Open at the Multi. There'll be some outstanding Division I teams at this event, in addition to outstanding competition from all collegiate levels. The action will get underway at the Multi Sunday at 10 a.m. The Mules basketball team will officially open their season Saturday night. Westminster comes to town, 7 o'clock tip at the Multi. For all Mule trained owners out there watching, there'll be a post-game reception following the game in the alumni room of the Multi. Tuesday, the Mules will host St. Mary's of Kansas at 7 p.m. You can catch all the games on KOCO 98.5 The Bar, 90.9 The Bridge, and warrensburgradio.com. And don't forget, for $8, you can watch the KMOS-TV produced video webcast of the games via a link to America One's web platform at our website, ucmo.edu/athletics. The Jennies basketball team will tip off their season Monday night at 7. They host Evangel at the Multi. Of course, we'll have that for you on KOCO and The Bar, as well as via the internet at warrensburgradio.com. And again, for only $8, you can watch an outstanding broadcast produced by the students and staff of KMOS-TV on a webcast via a link to America One's web platform at our website. Again, that's ucmo.edu/athletics. And it's time now for our weekly Sports Page trivia question. Each week, we give you a chance to win a prize from Central Missouri Athletics. And last week, we asked you, what Division II school is Mules basketball associate head coach Brad Luce's father, the AD and head basketball coach? The correct answer, Austin Peay, the Governors. And Neil emailed us first, so he wins a UCM Athletics t-shirt. This week, our question is, how many MIAA titles has Jennies'sSoccer won in 5 seasons under head coach Louis Theobald? You know the answer. You want a chance to win a prize, send it to the address right there on your screen or email it to sportspage@kmos.org. And with that, we wrap up yet another edition of the Central Missouri Sports Page. As always, we hope you enjoyed the show. We encourage you to tune in again next Thursday night at 7 and Saturday at 5 to keep up with the UCM Mules and Jennies. Also, visit our website, ucmo.edu/athletics. Follow us on Twitter at UCM Mules. You can also follow Sports Page on Facebook. Until next time, for our entire crew, this is Shawn Jones saying thanks for watching Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Support for Sports Page is provided by Parker's Supermarket and Pharmacy in Warrensburg. Parker's works hard to supply grocery staples and spices to cook Italian, Mexican, Chinese, Indian, and Thai cuisine. The mission at Parker's is to make grocery shopping a welcoming experience for everyone. By First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. And by Union Station, crossroads to technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs. Campus backwards-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, crossroads to technology. And promotional support for Sportspage is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.